Hi, welcome back to Jackie's Creative Lifestyle. I'm Jackie Thornton. Today I'm going to be bringing you an envelope art. I've had some ladies ask me how I do that and if I could do a video on it. So here we go. I'm going to do a few videos actually on the envelope art just so that you can see what I do when I send out my cards. So the one we're going to do today is just a little simpler, and as we go through over the next few days we'll do a few more in detail. This is the stamp set by Stampin Up, which is Wood Words, and we're going to use this little flower stamp right here and the stars. We're also going to use those words as well. Now we're going to also need, with our blender pens, we're going to need some sponges. Sorry about the state of my sponges at the moment, they certainly need a good clean. But this is what I do. A lot of people move ink around paper very differently. I find that using a sponge works for me. We're going to stamp up this flower, and I'm going to show you that you need to have a little piece of card, just whatever size you want to put your address in. This is the size I use, and I think it's about 8 centimeters by 4.5 centimeters. And it just, I just pop it on the card, on the envelope, and it means that I always have a white area to write my address, which is one of the things that I like to always have. Sometimes I do things a little bit different, but most of the time I keep it white for the address. So I'm going to stamp this flower. Now, basically what you're doing is you're putting flowers around the white area where we're going to be putting the address. So what I'm going to do is show you just how I go about keeping that area in the center white. And it's basically just re-inking the stamp and placing it down onto the envelope and filling that space in and around the card. Now the colours that I've picked for the blender pens today are on the left hand side, and you can see that it's a nice colourful arrangement. Now I stamped this stamp and it's not quite successful, so I will show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to use our pens. We have gorgeous journaling pens, which is up the top there. You can see it on my screen. And the journaling pens come in number 5 and number 1. And I'm going to use a number 1, which is very fine. And I'm going to go over that image and show you how you can just darken up what you've done. I am going to then colour these flowers, and I'm going to play some music for you and speed it up so you don't have to sit and watch me colour. And so enjoy the next few minutes of me colouring in these flowers. Okay, so we've finished the colouring in. Now I'm just going to pull out some ink, which is Mambo, and we're just going to ink up our stamp. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to soften the background behind the flowers. So it's quite easy to do, and don't ever be afraid of getting a hold of that sponge. Unfortunately, I did drop the image down a little bit when I was doing this and didn't realise we were out of shot. But bear with me, hopefully I will move that up into shot very shortly. So it's basically dabbing your ink, and I found that this wasn't quite picking that ink up off the tray of the ink pad, so I decided to change it up a bit and damp it into the actual pad itself, which gives me a lot more colour. So I'll do that in a second, but basically it's just rolling off that centre card and out onto the white. You'll notice that when I dab it on the ink pad I get a lot more ink. So I'm just really doing the edges. You start off with putting that colour onto that cardboard first, and then work your way off the cardboard and onto where you want the ink to be. So you can see there that I'm just going to go around and just ink around the outsides just to give it a little bit of depth there. And I've just realised what I'm going to do is I forgot to show you that I'm going to put stars on there. So those little stars that were in the set, in the stamp set, I'm just going to go around in that same colour I've just sponged in and just pop them into the background. And all it does is it just highlights up a bit. When I stamped that last one, just there is a little bit of ink on the outside of the stamp, but that's okay, we can work with that. Alright, so next thing we want to do is we want to get our pen. Now what I actually do when I do my envelopes, is I work off the process I work when I do journaling and etc. when I'm doing my memory keeping. And what I tend to do is I always do a double black line in and around the area to highlight it and to make it pop. So when I'm doing little journaling cards and things, I always outline a couple of lines of black ink. And I'm just going to pop in hello friend there in that white spot. And then I'm going to grab my number 1 pen and just outline with 2 lines straight down. And I'm going to do that inside the white box, and I'm going to do it on the very outside of the envelope. And this gives it great definition. It also makes that white box pop out, and it'll make the address pop out once you've put the address in there. So I really like this way actually of doing things, because it really does define those areas. It actually also, in real life, it doesn't really show you on the video, it actually makes that border that we've done there around that white centre, it makes it look a little 3D-ish and like you've actually layered something on top of the envelope. And yeah, it looks like you've adhered it to it, should I say. So we're just going to now just pop on the little squiggles, which I do on my lines. And that is really where we are at for today. So I've also done another envelope in some different shades and things. This was done in a really soft pink, all in Stampin' Up products. These are Stampin' Up envelopes also. So there's just a couple of different variants, a brighter one and a paler one. So thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you back soon with another envelope art, and take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.